Hello, this is Michael Offit from the Utah Center for Assistive Technology. Today for Tech Tuesday, I would like to go over with you the ease of access features that are found in Windows 10. I'm going to start by sharing my screen. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen at this point. I'm going to go down here, lower left-hand part of the screen where the Windows icon is. I'm going to click on the start, and the icon that is right above power is called settings. And I'm going to go ahead and click on that. You're going to see a window open, and in the second row and in the second column and on the third row, there's the ease of access. So we're going to start by clicking on that. So you'll notice that on the left-hand side of the window, there is a column with several categories in it. You've got display, mouse pointer, text cursor, magnifier, color filters, high contrast, and narrator. So let's go ahead and start with display. With display, you can make your text bigger. That's really simple. You can just drag the slider to the left or to the right to make the sample text in the box larger. If you go all the way to the end here, you can get to 225%, or you can stop somewhere in the 149% range. Let me just hit apply here so that you can see what that looks like. You'll notice that on the left here, where I've got my desktop icons for frequently used programs that I use, that the letters have gotten bigger. They're easier to read. That will also be applied to web pages and documents that you open so that you can see things better. They're going to be larger. The text is going to be easier to read. Well, let's go ahead and slide that back down to 100% so that it's set that way for the other users that use this computer. And we'll go ahead and hit apply and get it back to that 100%. Other things in the display here is you can change the brightness to automatically adjust or use the night light feature. You may have noticed this on smartphones, but when, in situations of dim light, the intensity of the background will also dim in order to compensate so it doesn't burn your eyes out. The next thing down is the mouse pointer. Mouse pointer menu, unfortunately, will not show up in Zoom. Which is what I'm using to record this demonstration for. But I encourage you to do these on your own computer if you decide that these would be useful. You can change the pointer size. Like if I slide this all the way over, my pointer on my screen is just huge, but you're not going to be able to see that through the recording. But it is significantly larger, and there's no way that I could miss this. You can also select it to be straight black. The third one over will inverse the colors so that black is white lettering and black reverse each other so that you're always able to see the cursor in high contrast. And then of course you could change the cursor to like different colors if you wish. I'm going to go ahead and set it back to the left. And just remember, when I did that, you weren't able to see any of those things, but I can see them on my screen. So once again, I just encourage you to play around with it on your own computer. The same goes for the text cursor. If you wanted to make the cursor larger, you just slide the bar to the left or to the right, and you can see that in Zoom. I did an earlier recording and tested that out, but you can see that it does go larger and smaller. Right now I've got it set on this green color, but blue will also, just depends on what your favorite color is or what shows up better. Yeah, I guess, you could do yellow, you could do this kind of gold color. We'll just go ahead and set it back to blue. And you can also pick a custom color. There's also a menu here where you can change the text cursor appearance. Usually the default is just a vertical line, but you can switch this all the way over to setting 20 and it will be this really big like blinking block, which should be easier for most people to see. So we'll just go ahead and restore the cursor all the way down to the bottom and go down to the next one. All right. So this feature is called magnifier. And if you work with the Blind Center, you might be familiar with a program called Zoom Text. Zoom Text is a really neat feature that, kind of blows up the screen so that you can see everything just much easier. So we're going to turn on magnifier. It's set at 200%. You can switch it all the way up, to make it obnoxiously huge, but I find that 200% is just fine. So we're going to turn this on for a moment, and you're going to see the screen switch a little bit. So now everything is big. With magnifier, your desktop remains the same size. You're just much closer to it. So in order for me to find the icons on the lower left, I have to take the cursor and go all the way down to the left, and you'll see that they're still here. I've still got my start menu here. I've still got my taskbar right along the bottom that shows everything that's opened. And I still have all of my icons on my desktop that are accessible. It's just that it's much, much bigger. If you accidentally open the magnifier and you don't know how you did that, or if you're just done using it and want to close it up, it's real easy to do. You just find this magnifier bar here that it's like a floating toolbar that you can move around with your cursor, and you can just hit the X button and close it, and everything gets restored back to the way Windows is supposed to look at its default. Okay, so that's how magnifier looks. Here's some color filters. Again, just like in the cursor size, these will not actually show up in the Zoom video. So I encourage you to look at them on your own. But if you turn on the color filters by toggling this on, you can intensify the red-green colors of everything for people that have are red-green colorblind and have trouble discerning, like red dots on top of a green background or vice versa. Maybe those disappear for you. The red-green colorblind filter will intensify those colors. It'll look weird to people that are not colorblind, but it will help you discern, red colors, orange colors from a green background. Additionally, you can go to grayscale if you prefer to see things in black and white. Sometimes things look better in black and white, and so you might have a reason for doing that. But again, I just want to remind you that even though I'm clicking on these and you're seeing no change in the Zoom video, it is because that those will not translate through Zoom, but I am seeing them on my screen, and I would encourage you to take a look at those yourself. One of the things that will show up in Zoom is the high contrast. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that to show you what that does. High contrast basically removes and simplifies the desktop and the computer so that all you get are the things that matter. So everything is in super high contrast. The wallpaper will be replaced with just straight black. The windows, the open windows will all be, visible with a colored line, and everything will be like white on black or the brightest colors on black, so that you can basically pick those things out and you can use the computer. It just may not be as beautiful as you're used to Windows looking. So, but high contrast is a good way for people that may have a few visual impairments to be able to still use a computer without having to resort to some sort of voiceover. So we'll go ahead and turn that off now that you've seen that. And the last thing I wanted to show you was the narrator feature. The narrator feature is basically kind of a read out loud thing, but it's a lot more similar to JAWS in that it reads everything out loud. I'm going to go ahead and pull open a document that I've prepared here, just using an Outlook account that I signed up for here, just a generic free Outlook email account. By the way, if you guys are not familiar with this, when you sign up for a free Outlook account, you'll notice that at the top there is this blue bar that goes from the left-hand side of the screen to the right-hand side, and it has 9 white dots on the left-hand side. If you click on those, you will see several apps that are available for free to use, but you have to have the browser open. One of these apps is Microsoft Word. So you can just click on that, and it saves everything on OneDrive, which is cloud storage. And I'm just going to click on this document called Narrator Demonstration and allow that to load for a moment. So, okay. So going back to our narrator, I'm just going to turn this on, and you're probably going to hear it speak in the background while I minimize these so you can go back to this document here. So like if I put this cursor here at the top and select some text, let's see. You can hear it talk. It's just reading out everything. So I'm hitting the down button on my, hitting the down button or the down arrow on my keyboard, but that's how you basically use narrator. When you first open it up, it's going to read everything, including the address bar and stuff like that. But once you've got that set up, you can see that you can just kind of click on a paragraph and it will read like the entire line. If you want it to go down, you just hit the arrow key and hit the arrow key again, and you'll read the bullets.
Press Windows logo key plus Control plus Enter on your keyboard. In earlier versions of Windows, you may need to press Windows logo key plus Enter.
And like you can go down to the next one and have it read that one out loud.
On the sign-in screen, select the Ease of Access button in the lower right corner and turn on the toggle under Narrator.
So the nice thing about Narrator is the fact that it will work with just about any web browser or any document that you have opened up. I tend to use it, just to read trainings that we have to take about every 60 days or so here at DWS. And it's nice to just sit back and have the narrator read out loud like policy so that I can sit back and maybe just concentrate on what's being said, and I find out that my retention is higher. But for whatever reasons that you may find to use narrator, I do think it is useful for just about anybody. And that was the last feature that I wanted to show you today on Tech Tuesday. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the narrator off. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video and found some things that are informative to you. If you have any questions, please reach out to UCAT. And if you have any ideas or things that you would like to see for our next Tech Tuesday, please be sure to email Kent Remit. And thank you very much.